Well, hey everyone, I thought I'd give you an update of how it's going on my solar install. And the short story is that it's not. uh, it's been kind of an interesting journey, and with a few ups and downs along the way. And Yeah, I don't have solar installed on my house yet. Yes, I'm still hoping to get it through Tesla, but it's been a bit of a bumpy road to get there. Around about July 31st, after I shot my first video, I had my site visit. The Tesla technician came out, took a look at the space. We had some good conversations about where the power walls would go, a lot of the hand wringing that I did about placement and that kind of thing. We talked through a little bit. Since then, it was about 3 weeks that he went off and took the information, took the measurements that he needed to take, and then about 3 weeks elapsed before I got a response back and sort of a result back from that. So August 19th, I got an email from the Tesla folks basically saying that they couldn't proceed with my install going forward. And the reason that they gave was that the standing seams on my roof were 20 inches apart. And they basically said that my city does not allow solar installs on standing seams that are greater than 16 inches apart. So that was a huge surprise to me, and I immediately tried to get in touch with anybody I could get in touch with in my city, the city of Sunnyvale here, which was kind of surprising. So I called up the city and actually got hold of someone right away. I got right in touch with the inspector and had a chat with him, and we talked through the install a little bit, and I kind of presented the problem and talked to him about what Tesla was telling me. And he said, well, hey, let me talk to the city engineer to find out what the deal is. So he had a conversation with him, came back to me and said, well, listen, we've approved these kinds of solar installs on 16-inch spacing before. That doesn't mean that we're going to disapprove of it on a 20-inch spacing, but basically the Tesla engineering folks need to show the numbers and all the calculations to make sure that the install will be safe and to code and to spec to the city's satisfaction, and given seismic factors and all those kinds of things, since we're in California. So I talked to him. I actually talked directly to the city engineer as well, kind of got the same story. And he said, look, we don't have a permit application to even react to at the moment. So this is usually a conversation. They can submit an application, we can make comment on it, and then we can proceed from there. But the general story that I got from them is that, it's not that they're gonna deny it necessarily. It's just that, that's what they've approved previously. It was the 16-inch spacing. Anyhow, I got back in touch with Tesla and spoke with them. It was kind of a long conversation that took place over several weeks, a number of weeks. The representative that was there, my energy advisor, was tried to be pretty helpful, but at the end of the day, it's really not her decision. And so she had to escalate, talk to engineers, find out what the story was, and eventually, in the last week or so, so it's September 22nd now, she managed to get the engineering folks to agree that they would, in fact, follow through, do all the necessary calculations, and submit the application eventually to the city of Sunnyvale, and see how that goes. Since the story that I got from the folks on the ground who approved the applications was that we should send it in and work together to find a resolution. It took a long time, but eventually they agreed to do that. Now, as it stands now, they also, in the process of this, actually canceled my order outright, and I had to basically just work with them over the phone. So in the last week or so, they've reinstated the order, and it's available under my Tesla account. So as it stands right now, I have an active order, and apparently the Tesla engineering folks and the structural engineers are working on doing the right paperwork to actually submit the permit to the city of Sunnyvale, and then we'll see what happens from there. Um, I don't actually know what's going to happen, but we'll see. Part of Tesla's boilerplate cancellation email was that, hey, let's maybe talk about solar roof to see if that's appropriate for you. But in looking at that, that's obviously significantly more expensive than a very competitive offer on the solar front. So, or on the solar panel install. So it's been a journey. I think I started this process in early July. It's now heading into late September, into the fall now, and I've basically just gotten a site analysis done, and that's as far as it's gone. So I'm gonna hang on and try to push this through, since again it feels like Tesla has financially the best deal in town, and I want to try and see if I can get them to actually do the job and do the work to push the permit through and all those kinds of things. But it seems like if it's not a cookie cutter install, that it can be the case that you have to push a little bit to get what you want. So that's what I'm doing right now. But anyhow, that's the update. So it's kind of interesting, all the hand-wringing about placement of power walls and where things are going to sort of out the window. At this point, I'm kind of like, well, I'll sort of, I'm feeling a lot more flexible about those aspects of the job, and more, concerned about whether it's even going to happen at all. But I can be patient. It's fine. We'll see how it goes, and I'll continue to update this channel, as I find out more. Sorry it's been a long delay, but it's also been a long journey. I didn't want to post something until I actually had concrete facts and install date and those kinds of things. But we'll see how it goes. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.